We'll show you how to preview files from Salesforce. So we will preview these files directly into Titan Web. That's what we're going to do. So just to keep it nice and simple, I've got a contact here, and the contact has a file, one file. She could have multiple files. I mean, for the sake of it, let's add something in there, shall we? Just so we can make it a little bit interesting. So, all right, I'll insert this one in here. So now she has two files, and we just want to bring this directly into Titan Web. So what you can do is you can bring some data. So for example, I may just want to bring like full name. And then the file viewer is what you will use to bring all the files really. And let's say I go into my widgets, that's where you will find the file viewer. Now, obviously you need to decide what type of files there are, and based on that you will choose it. So for me, it's only PDFs, so I'll choose PDFs. You can then say, okay, well, they're allowed to print, they're allowed to download, they're allowed to rotate, they're allowed to zoom into the file viewer, whatever have you. The use cases are really endless. So what we'll do is we'll increase the size of the file viewer, and then we go to business with setting up the get. Now, in order to set up the get, what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a variable first, because I'm just going to pass a standard ID, and then we're pretty much good to go. So we'll call this one contact ID, and then we'll say map to URL. Then in the get here, the first get is going to be from the contact, and we'll run it as an auto trigger for now. You can run it as a user action. It really doesn't really matter. So in fact, why not? Let's just set it as a user action for the sake of it. So contact ID equals my variable contact ID. So here, I just want to bring back the full name. That's all I really want to do. But the next part is where it gets interesting. Because now I want to say, okay, now bring files from this, bring up to 100 files, even though only 2, but that's okay. But look at this. First, published location ID equals the contact ID, which means all the files must be under this contact. And in the mapping here, the content is going to be version data, and the type is going to be file type. These are two very important variables that you have to map. If you don't map them, it's not going to work. So it's good to go. Now, I'm just going to set a condition, which is very, very simple condition to say if contact ID is not empty, then go ahead and run my Salesforce action. That's really all I have to do to preview the file. Done. And then here, this has already been decided and all is good, and now I just have to preview. So in the preview here now, what I can do is, in fact, let's do a publish because it's easier that way. So once I do publish, I can put a question mark and do contact ID equals, that's my variable. And then I could take the ID of this contact here, pop it in here, hit enter. It's now going to run my query. So first it's return the name of that contact, which is easy stuff. But now I wanted to return the files. So these are the files. You can see this is a CV. And this is the second file that I just uploaded in there. That is pretty much as easy as it gets to preview a file. And just to sort of show it to you, this was the first file. Sorry, this was the second file, and this was the first file. And these are the files I'm bringing back. So once you get the first published location ID, based off that, you can run whatever you want in order to bring it.